After leaving the Imperial Dam LTVA, we headed to Yuma to complete a chore day. That included laundry, shopping, and much needed wash for Waldo. It always seems to take longer than we planned, so a quick, easy dinner at Cracker Barrel and a free overnight there seemed just the ticket. We made a short drive west, and we used our last 14-day LTVA limit at Hot Springs. We had a nice, quiet night star watching. We had a great time watching all of the stars come out and hadn't realized that an event was occurring in which Venus was in front of Jupiter. After leaving the Yuma area, we had a bit of time before our next appointment in Santee, California. Someone had told us to try the date shakes in Westmoreland, so off we went in search of the best date shakes. Man, those were good. That night, we stayed at the Walmart in Brawley. I was surprised at how many corner produce stands we found, and 20 avocados for $5 was such a bargain. Next, we stayed at a rest area just west of El Centro. It had a free place to dump our tanks and fill up on fresh water. Much to our surprise, we were entertained by the U.S. Air Force doing training flights. I love watching these. We ended up staying overnight at this rest area. It wasn't the quietest place to sleep, but we did okay. This time we took Highway 86 and got to experience a border inspection.
Okay, here we are. Not moving very much. We have ourselves a border check. My first. 8-minute delay, they say.
There was a slight change of plans and we had a bit more time on our hands. So hey, let's head over to the Salton Sea for a few days. Really, this is how we roll. So yet another trip up through the Imperial Valley. I have to say this was a very odd place to visit. We stopped at the visitor center and learned quite a bit about the origins of this body of water and why it is in such poor conditions. Luckily for us, there were no offensive smells. We enjoyed some beautiful sunrises and sunsets, along with several trains that traveled by. Due to the high salt content in the water, many of the fish have died over recent years, littering the shoreline with their little bones. Next, it was off to explore Bombay Beach. This was a hoppin' lakeside resort in its heyday. I'm not 100% certain, but I think I may have been boating here with my grandparents when I was a kid. Bombay Beach on a beautiful blue morning. Quite different now. It seems to be a haven for those who prefer to live outside of the traditional suburbs. Seems like a place where people feel free to express their own personal art forms. Actually, I found it quite interesting, however, not the most inviting. I felt a strong vibe from locals as we drove through the area. Not scary, but not welcoming either. Then it was over to Slab City, or more so, Salvation Mountain. I've seen videos of this place on YouTube, but I wanted to see it for myself. I was intrigued with the years of work someone had put into building this mountain and the message that the artist was sending. You can find more information on YouTube. Again, I felt a funny vibe here. On one hand, the message painted all over the mountain is love, kindness, and peace, yet the vibe I felt from locals was suspicion and distrust. It will be interesting to see if the mountain is maintained since the original artist has passed on, or if it will slowly fade away. Our appointment outside of San Diego was drawing closer, and it was time to put a little push into heading west. We utilized casinos for a quick stopover. I usually find them on Campendium. We are not ones to gamble, but we usually have a meal or a fill up of fuel or some other way of giving back. This one was called the Lucky Acorn. However, we felt like the lucky ones, getting to watch a beautiful sunset and an amazing sunrise. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. I'm not one to focus on negatives in life, but I guess I just want to share my story of the classic bait and switch. So, we are not ones that usually stay at RV parks, but sometimes other options are limited, and this was the case. So, we found an RV park called Marta'awa along I-8. As we drove in, we saw a pretty little valley with a nice kept green grass, swimming pool, and all the luxury amenities that you would expect to find at an RV park. I had read some very poor reviews on the place and could only imagine improvements had been made. So we stopped at the office and asked if they had availability for a night or two. It was my birthday, and we figured a little splurge was warranted. Upon completion of the paperwork, we were given directions to our spot. I was immediately confused when we were told to cross the main road that we had come in on, and we would see the entrance to the right. Of course, I was like, isn't this the place we're staying? We received smiles and polite glances as we were told, yes, but across the road. So we drove across the road and we found Alpine Springs. Oh my gosh, what a dump and a dive! I made a short video so you could see for yourself. So I guess all I can say is be careful. Next time I will be sure to confirm that the park that I'm currently looking at is the park that we will be staying in.
Doesn't give a description as to what it is. Now somewhere in here, maybe this building coming up here will be the, whoa. Now these look like residents here, I would guess. You know, they've got children's toys out and whatnot. So maybe we're
One of the full timers. Okay, this probably
the laundry and the shower house. So you got to walk all the way up here to get to your shower. I'm like, no thanks. And there's like a host thing. But that building looks like it's in better repair. Like there's actually some machines there.
laundry.
Okay, so there's laundry and possibly even shower.
Putting the negative behind, we traveled on to Agile Off-Road so we too could be smarter than dirt. With our new improved suspension upgrades, they installed their ride improvement package, better known as the RIP package, along with the pedal box. Okay, I've never heard of such a thing, but somehow it increases not the amount of power that the vehicle gives you, but the response in which it delivers it. These two upgrades have been well worth the investment. We are very pleased with it. No more side-to-side wobble of the van as we pull in and out of driveways. No more side wind slams as semis pass you. And bonus, we got about 3 inches of lift in our clearance. Win-win all around. Now it's time to go have more fun. Stay tuned as we head into Anza Borrego State Park.